Hello and welcome to our literature series brought to you by O3 School's JAMB app, an app developed to assist students with their preparations for examinations they have coming. And today we'll be analyzing the play The Lion and the Jewel. The Lion and the Jewel. The Lion and the Jewel is a play written by Nigerian playwright Wole Soyinka. And although the play was written before 1963, it was published in 1963. Wole Soyinka wrote the play The Lion and the Jewel, and the book was published in 1963, although it was written before then. So that takes us to the setting. The setting of the play. The play takes place in one day. The play is set in one day. In a village called Jinle in the southwestern part of Nigeria. And this was before independence. So that's the setting. The book is set in a village called Jinle, and the entire book happened in one day, and it was before independence. Then we'll look at the characters. The major characters in the play are Sidi, Lakunle, Baroka, and Sadiku. So the major characters in the play. Other minor characters, we have the villagers, the dancers, drummers, the man with the foreign accent, the white surveyor. Then we look at the plot summary. The play contains one act and 3 scenes. The scenes morning, afternoon, night. So the play contains one act and 3 scenes. Let's now look at the, quick summary of The Lion and the Jewel. In the first scene, the play begins with Lakunle teaching arithmetic to his students, and he notices Sidi approaching with a pail of water on her head. He quickly rushes out to help her, but she refuses, and he forcefully takes the bucket from her head, lecturing her on the disadvantages of carrying, loads on the head. He then proceeds to ask her to marry him, which she agrees to, but insists on payment of her bride price. Now, Lakunle begins to explain reasons why he would not pay the bride price. He's educated. He doesn't think that bride price is a modern thing to do. It's something that should be scrapped. Now, while this conversation is ongoing, a crowd of dancers and youths enter and tell Sidi that the man with a foreign accent, that's the photographer, or the stranger, as it was also referred to in the book, has arrived with the magazines he promised, and that Sidi's pictures are all over the front page, other pages in the book. They then dance the dance of the lost traveler, which is basically retelling the story of the photographer, how he came to the village in the first place and took photos to go and make a magazine with. That's for the first scene. And then the second scene, which is noon now, we see Sidi admiring herself, like she's engrossed in the magazine containing her pictures, and luckily is following behind with her firewood. And then Sadiku is the eldest wife of Baroka, the Bale of the village, and it's kind of like her job to get women to marry the king, or the Bale rather. So Sadiko meets them and tells Sidi of Baraka's intentions. She wants Sidi to get married to the Bale. But then Sidi is now proud. She has seen that she's a very beautiful girl. She's popular. Her pictures are all over. She's known due to the magazine. And then even the Bale has just his photograph appears in a corner, a little corner of a page that he even shares with the village latrine. So she thinks at this point she's even more important than the Bale, and she's too good to marry him, so she refuses. Sadiko then asks her to honor the Baraka's invitation for supper instead, which Sidi also refuses, knowing fully well that Baraka is very cunning and that she might also end up getting married to him after that supper. Sadiko returns back to Baraka with Sidi's refusal, and then Baraka tells her of his impotence and implores her to tell no one. In the third and final scene, which is night, Sadiko is seen jubilating. She's dancing around the tree, oblivious of the presence of Sidi. So Sidi goes to her and inquires about the reason for her celebration. Sadiko tells her the secret, which makes her happy. Happily, she joins in Sadiko's celebration and they dance around the tree together. She then decides to go mock Baraka. Despite warnings from Lakunle, who joined them while they were dancing, she didn't heed these warnings and she still went to Baraka to mock him. There she discovers that Baraka deceived them all, and then she decides to marry Baraka since he has already seduced her and Lakunle is refusing to pay her bride price. So the play is an allegory. An allegory simply means a story with double meaning. So there's the literal meaning and the figurative meaning. We see the literal meaning. Sidi is the jewel and Baraka is the lion. We see, Lakunle and Baraka interested in Sidi's hand in marriage, and then we see their approaches towards getting her to marry them. That's the literal meaning. And then we see the figurative meaning, where Sidi represents Nigeria, torn between, her customs and traditions, which she's used to, while there's influence from foreign culture. So in the play, Lakunle approaches Sidi, using this gentleman approach in a gentlemanly manner, which signifies modernity, while Baraka uses his knowledge of tradition and slyness, which represents traditional, or let's say tradition. So the triumph of Baraka in the end to win Sidi over signifies superiority of tradition over modernity. The writer is assuring us that we haven't lost it. We've not totally discarded our traditions and picked, the foreign culture. Now we look at the themes in the play. Major theme is that of tradition versus modernity. The author tries to explore the theme of tradition versus modernity with the play The Lion and the Jewel. First off, we see that in the bride price saga between Lakunle and Sidi. Sidi is okay, she's ready to marry Lakunle, but she insists on the payment of her bride price because it is very much important according to the customs and traditions of the land. She doesn't want the others to mock her. We see also polygamy / wife inheritance. Baraka has so many wives, but he's still not satisfied. He's not okay with the number of wives he had. He still wants to add more. We also see he inherited some of his wives from his father. We even see him promising Sidi that she will be his last. So by the time the next Bale inherits her, she will now become the head wife. So wife inheritance, polygamy, bride price, all of these are traditions that the people in the village are already used to. And then we see Lakunle representing modernity now, trying to bring them out. The writer explores the theme of tradition versus modernity in the play. There's also the theme of trickery or manipulation. Baraka tricked Sidi, or we say he manipulated her into believing that he was imported. He knew Sadiko would not keep the secret. Hence, he told her and even implored her not to tell anyone, knowing fully well that she would divulge the secret and Sidi will fall for the trap. So there was a theme of trickery and manipulation in the book. There's also the theme of pride. We see that in the character of Sidi. Once she sees how beautiful she is and how popular she's becoming because of her photos spread all over the magazine, she becomes too proud, feeling that she's too good for even Lakule or Baruka to get married to. We also see the theme of pride in Lakule. Lakule is educated, so he feels he's better than the rest of the villagers, using big words in his speech and all that. We even see he tells Sidi that his brain is bigger than hers, so he will not allow her drag him into an argument. So we see the theme of pride in the characters of both Sidi and Lakunle. Then we look at the dramatic devices. Dramatic devices used in the play The Lion and the Jewel. We have symbolism. All the characters in the play are symbols. The Sidi is the jewel, Baroka is the lion, Lakunle represents, modernity and all that. So all the characters used in the play are symbols used by the author or the playwright to convey its actual meaning. We also have the theme of flashback. So flashback involves a transition to an earlier time in the play. So in the play, The Lion and the Jewel, the story of the lost traveler, how the photographer found himself in the village taking photos and all that, and even the story of Baruka bribing the white surveyor so the railway will not pass through the village, was told using flashback and mime. Acting without words, use of gestures. So that those both stories were told using flashback and also mime. We also have situational irony. Situational irony occurs when the opposite of what is expected to happen happens. Like the opposite of the expected outcome is what happens. We refer to that as situational irony. Now, in the play, going by Sidi's blatant refusal to marry Baruka, it is unexpected that she will end up with him. And she does end up with Baruka at the end. So that gives us situational irony. So we'll take a look at some past questions on The Lion and the Jewel. First, the opening act in the play takes place at the village market, the ballet room, the roadside of the farm, by the village stream. We have by the village stream. Sidi is returning with a pail of water on her head. So we have by the village stream. Next, the jewel of the play is Sadiku, Lakunle, Sidi, Ailetu. Sidi represents the jewel. Lakunle and Baruka are both interested in her hand in marriage, and she decides which of them to get married to. The theme of tradition and change is reflected primarily in the conflict between Lakunle and Sadiku, Lakunle and Sidi, Lakunle and Baruka, Sidi and Sadiku. We have Lakunle and Baruka. Lakunle representing change or modernity, and Baruka representing tradition. What is Sadiku's response to discovering that Baruka is impotent? Anger, sorrow, shame, joy. Our answer becomes joy. Though Baruka implored her to tell no one, she still goes ahead to dance openly where people can see her and know the reason for her rejoicing. So not only did she tell it out, she was also dancing to it, like celebrating. So her response is joy. Which character does Sidi decide to marry? Baruka. Baruka tricked her and defiled her. Hence, she chose to be with Baruka rather than going with Lakunle, who would not now pay her bride price, and she will be embarrassed in front of the other villagers. So Sidi decided to marry Baruka. Now, these questions were pulled out from the O3 Schools JAMB app. There are very many more questions that you can practice with, not just on literature, but on all other subjects as well. So do well to download the O3 Schools JAMB app today. Thank you for watching.